Good morning, everybody. We once again warmly welcome all of our attendees and the panel members to join us for the exclusive webinar, Empower Your Future at Universal College of Learning, New Zealand. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to the panel guest again and the attendees. We certainly value your presence and your time for the webinar today. Just a request to all of you, before we go further, I would just like to address all the members to raise their questions in the end of the session and make it an active and a learning engaging session. Uh, as brought to your knowledge, we are going to talk about Universal College of Learning today. Introducing myself, my name is Karishma Sood. I work as a Senior Sales and Marketing Manager with Immigration Advisor New Zealand Limited. This is me. You can witness me all here. Going further, I would just like to bring to your knowledge who we are. Immigration Advisor New Zealand Limited is basically catering to student recruitment in the education sector in New Zealand. And we are a group of 4 licensed immigration advisors. They are expertise in their arenas in assisting on immigration advisors. We are based in Auckland, in New Zealand, and you can mark our presence in the building that you are looking in the picture behind me or in the image on the 6th floor. We proudly make a presence on this floor and the working sector. We've handled more than 30 country clientele sector, and we witness diversity not amongst just only our clients, but also amongst our staff members. Um, we have been in immigration industry for more than 20 years. Our licensed immigration expertise are the best to assist everybody with regards to immigration advice. And we are mostly reviewed licensed immigration advisors in New Zealand. Locally, we've marked our presence in India, in Sri Lanka, in Nepal, Philippines, Bangladesh, and Middle East, and we are spreading across the globe. Talking about our panel today, we have with us Mr. Jack Sui, International Recruitment Advisor for Universal College of Learning. He would be briefing us about the programs offered at UCOL at the diploma degree as well as the master's degree level, and that would be related primarily on the focus with construction management, with nursing program, teaching and design programs, which are highly preferred, demanded program amongst the international students across the globe. Welcome, Jack, and thank you for joining us today. We have Mrs. Vandana Rai, Senior Licensed Immigration Advisor, and having Mrs. Tanwa Majumdar, again, Immigration Advisor, having expertise towards immigration law. They will be assisting your queries related to immigration and dependent visa categories. Today's webinar, if I bring across the scope in details, would be addressing the academic programs that UCOL is offering. Mr. Jack would address the details of the program along with the admission pre-requirement and procedures involved with the applications. Besides that, the very important aspect that would be looked upon would be career development, which every student intends to inquire about. Mr. Jack will talk about the USPs of these respective programs too. In terms to the pathway to New Zealand residency visa detailing and the benefits of the partner and the dependent visa, Mrs. Vandana Rai would be addressing our audience today. Going further, I would just request Jack to take us through the run information session. Over to you, Jack.
Thank you very much, Krishna. So I'll share my screen first. All right. So first, I'd like to say thank you to Immigration Advisor for this opportunity to speak with you all today. So it's a really pleasure to introduce UCO to you all. I'm Jack. I'm the International Admission Officer at UCOL. So I'll be giving you some rough idea about what are we going to talk about today. So, right. So first thing first, I would like to introduce our places. We have 4 campuses across the Lower North Island. Most of our international students, they are choosing Palmerston North, which is our main campus, to study. same as Wanganui. It's another our big campus. It's about 1 hour away from Palmerston North. One of the greatest advantages of studying at UCOL is the lower cost. So imagine the students would be able to have the supportive communities, and they can have those affordable accommodations, free bus services. It really reduces the cost of their day-to-day life in New Zealand. So Palmerston North is small enough to go everywhere, but big enough to have anything. So the next thing I'm going to talking about the program. The first is the New Zealand Diploma in Construction Management, Master of Design Level 9, Bachelor of Nursing, and a Bachelor of Teaching. Right, let's move to the construction. It's Level 6. So the New Zealand Diploma in Construction is the ideal qualification for people who want to work as a construction managers. So from start to finish of residential and commercial building projects, this 2-year diploma provides comprehensive construction training, equipping you with the knowledge and the skills for a successful career. Upon completion of this program, you will receive a qualification to enter employment in construction management under the supervision of a more experienced practitioner. So the qualification will also, the qualification will also provides employee and the consumers with the confidence that the constructions and the building projects that been effectively planned and organized, and with sound financial management that meets the meet the requirements of New Zealand legislation, code of practice, and the New Zealand and Australian standards. So this is a very all-inclusive program for the young students who would like to be in the construction industry. So we will be very well prepared you for your future career for this 2 years time. So the next thing is I want to see is this the right program for you. So imagine you will be dealing a lot of things like numeracy and literacy. So if you enjoy working with numbers and having an interest in calculations or budgets or measurements, so this is the program could be great fit. So numbers play a critical role in construction. So from estimating costs and managing budgets to measuring materials and thus ensuring everything adds up correctly. So there are quite many young applicants or the young students from overseas. They are very keen to working in the construction sites in the future to explore their career opportunities. So another thing is, do you like understanding how things working and improving how they are done? So the construction industry is built on process, whether it's planning a project, managing resources, to or ensuring timelines are met. So this program teaches you how to streamline operations and bring efficiency to every stage of a construction project. So this is very important. And in addition, I would say requires a very strong communication skills. So if you would like to develop your communication skills, so I mean this course is right for you. So it gives you the opportunity to put everything in practice, and to communicate different parties, different contract, and you are going to work on those things in the future, and it will be definitely helping you in a real work situation. All right. So the course introducing. So I want to talk about more about entry requirement. So there are quite many young high school graduates from overseas, especially there are quite many of them, they're from India recently. They are seeking higher education opportunities in New Zealand. So what is the academic entry requirement for this course? So if there's a student from, let's say, India, and have successfully complete the senior secondary, and we require minimum 65% across 4 academic subjects to meet the academic entry requirement. And they also, for those subjects, mathematics is a compulsory. So we will have to see a good mathematics level from your secondary report. Apart from the academic entry requirements, so we also have the English language requirement, which is IELTS 6.0 with no band lower than 5.5. We also accept PTE with 50 with no band lower than 42. So these are very common English language entry requirements for the New Zealand diploma level. And from the next information, you can see our tuition fees is $26,000. That's the figure for 2025. It's not only 26,000, but you will also have to add in up something extra like student levy, and adding up need some extra of the international student insurance. Right, so let's move to the next page. Career opportunities. All right, so this is a very interesting part I would like to explain. So we've been always asked by students, how's the job opportunities, how's the career opportunities for this course. So these career opportunities span a range of roles in constructions. So from estimating costs for projects to manage contracts and tenders. So they include both office-based tasks like construction administration and hands-on roles like site and project management. So a strong focus in placed on coordination, health and safety, and ensuring projects are completed on time and within the right budget. So as you may be aware, so the New Zealand OCR got dropped again, so which means it could be bringing another round of increase of the infrastructure construction and the residential properties development. So I would say the career job opportunities in this area will be pretty good in the future. All right. So this is pretty much about the New Zealand Diploma in Construction Level 6. So the next one I'm going to talk about is the Master Degree Level 9, Master of Design. All right. So the Master of Design is designed for creative professionals who want to take their skills to the next level and focus on advanced research and design practices. Students will specifically in areas like time-based design, print-based design, objective or visual arts, or fashion and textile design. depending on their interests. Key part of the program is producing a written thesis and presenting a body of work in final exhibition, which displays your expertise and creativity. So this qualification is perfect for those looking to become leaders in their field or to pursue academic and research-based careers. Most likely, our Master of Design will be only running in our Wanganui campus. So Wanganui campus is also known as the most creative city in New Zealand. It's small but really beautiful. So the student will be enjoying the whole environment in Wanganui and use the most advanced technologies to pursue the Master of Design degrees over there. Okay, so our lectures of this program is highly skilled, and they are the professionals with real world experience. So they bring the passion and industry insights to help our students to grow both creatively and professionally. So our strong ties with a wide range of industries, including animation, web design, publishing, video games, and illustration and fashion, gives our students opportunities to connect with the potential employer and gain practical knowledge. So the students will be studying in modern, spacious studios equipped with the industry-leading technology. So if you got the chance, so I would encourage you to come in to visit our center, one of our centers in Wanganui and one of our centers in Palms North, and see what you will be experience as a student here at UCOL. So the entry requirement for the master degree, obviously it's a bit higher than the New Zealand diploma level. So the first thing first, you will have to have a bachelor degree or similar qualification in art and design. So if you're coming from different background, it's probably not really for you. But if you have some other qualification, but you had worked in the industry for a long time, so it also will be considered. Okay, so if you be in the industry for quite many years, don't hesitate to contact us or contact anyone from the immigration advisor to have a chat, right? So apart from the academic entry requirement, and we will have to get the personal portfolio and the research proposal from the applicant. So you will have to demonstrate yourself why this course is for you. What are you going to do while you're doing this course, right? So English language requirement is also higher than the New Zealand diploma level. We require 6.5 with no band lower than 6. PT is 58 with no band lower than 50. So it's a bit higher than the New Zealand diploma level. Regarding the tuition fees, it's expensive, but also it could be the cheapest among the tertiary sector, because Tipo King and UCOL, we got almost the flat fees. We're trying to bring the flat fees to our international students, but it's still $32,500 for the first year, and another $16,250 for the next 6 months. So you're totally looking at $48,000 for this 1.5 years program. Yeah, so if you need those specific numbers, you can leave your contact details here. We can share the fees with you later. All right, so these are some job opportunities, career opportunities our graduates had in the past. So I mean, the Master of Design graduates, they will excel in a range of industry, such as galleries, fashion houses, graphic design studios, film and television, printing and the publishing. So many of our graduates are working at very renowned companies such as Weta FX, TV NZ. So those are very famous employees in New Zealand, and they are looking for very talented graduates across New Zealand. And we've been lucky enough to have our students to be employed by them. So next, it's a very important part to quite many students, and this is Bachelor of Nursing, right? So Bachelor of Nursing is highly after by quite many international students. They're not only from India, but also Nepal, Sri Lanka, Korea, and the Philippines. So UCOL's nursing degree will provide you with the knowledge and the training to become a highly skilled registered nurse here in New Zealand. So our nursing degree is highly sought after, as I mentioned, and our graduates are well regarded in the industry. So at UCOL, and our students will gain theoretical they were getting the theoretical knowledge from experienced lecturers and the practical skills working in our state of the clinical simulation facilities and during the work placement. Which mean what that's mean. So our students, they will be placed into either hospitals or the retirement village or any medical department. They will need nurses in the future. So they will be work as a nurse while their study with us. It's a clinical placement. So our lecturers are highly qualified and supportive and friendly, and we're proud to contribute high quality healthcare professionals to our communities in Lower North Island. Not only in Lower North Island, like last year, we've got quite many nursing graduates. They've been employed at the different part of New Zealand, from far north to low south. So our graduates, alumni, they are across the whole New Zealand. Right. So is this for you? Um, the Bachelor of Nursing is definitely not for every student. So this program is designed for international students wanting to complete Bachelor of Nursing degree in New Zealand, and internationally qualified nurses wanting to gain New Zealand qualification and to be a New Zealand registered nurse, and mature learners who are currently employed in the caring professions and who wish to enhance their career opportunities by studying at a degree level, right? And learning facilities. So we've got a very advanced nursing facility, which is pretty much like the hospital setting. So it's gonna be you're gonna be studying a real environment when you're at UCO, right? So it's been built in our Manawatu campus. So it's like purposely built. Yeah. So you will be really experienced. What are you going to do in a work environment? All right, so let's move to the next page, the entry requirement. Okay, so for the students who complete their senior high school, or senior secondary, um, so it's again academically. So for the Indian applicants, so they will have to meet 65% across the four academic subjects, and we're also looking at some specific requirements because nursing is a registered medical professional job. So we will have to make sure you declared everything you had in the past. So New Zealand police vetting is the one thing you will have to pass before you can be enrolled in our nursing program, and the police clearance certificate from your home country or any country you have spent more than 6 months. Apart from that, you will also have to complete a health declaration form. So for the reason we are having that many requirements is we are trying to make sure all the graduates from UCOL, they will be meeting the requirements as a registered nurse once they finish their study with us. So once you finish with us, you will be the registered nurse here in New Zealand. Okay, so the English language is 6.5 in all bands. So make sure no band is lower than 6.5. So this is quite high English language requirement. So you will have to probably be very, very well balanced about listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So it's not that easy for the young students. So I would encourage the students spend more time on their English test. Yeah. So tuition fees. So tuition fee is the most expensive one in our bachelor program. So the nursing is always the most expensive one. So it is $29,120. So this is the tuition fees. Apart from tuition fees, you're also looking at the insurance and the student levy. So the total cost will be close to around $31,000 for 2025. Yeah. So for those students who did not meet the academic entry requirement, we also got a pathway for them. For example, if a student they couldn't get the 65% across four academic subjects, so we've got the nursing pathway for them to go through first and make sure they got very concrete foundation before they can formally and join our Bachelor of Nursing program. Right, Bachelor of Teaching. So if you are patient about early childhood teaching, UCOL's Bachelor of Teaching early childhood education will be prepare you to enter this highly rewarding career. So students attend class 2 days a week and undertake a minimum of 12 hours per week in a licensed early childhood education center. So including block placements within variety of early childhood settings. So students gain experience working alongside infants, toddlers, and the young children. Successful completion means you will be eligible for teacher registration and the provisional certificate with the Teaching Council of Aotearoa, New Zealand. So if you are keen, if you have enough patience, so this Bachelor of Early Childhood Education will be great for you. requirements. So again, academic, 65 across 4 academic subjects. So as Bachelor of Nursing, we also required New Zealand police vetting, police certificate from your home country. We need the reference from you to check what you have done. And of course, a background check for Children's Act. So our faculty will be running this Children's Act to make sure you will be properly fit into the position in the future. So English language is the key here, as you are going to dealing with our New Zealand future. You will have to be very well prepared in your English, right? So IELTS 7.0 in all bands, right? And the PT it requires 65. And yeah, if you got enough patience to dealing with the young kids, this one is really good for you, right? And if you couldn't meet the academic entry requirement, we also got the pathway for you, which is early child education in the care level 4. So if you couldn't meet the bachelor entry requirement, you can go in to do that one first. Or the tuition fees, $26,000. It's okay. It's not that bad. Right, entry requirements. Okay, so I think I have already covered this part. Yeah, so you will be getting an interview from our faculty to make sure you are like suitable to this course, and we will be asking you the question: why do you want to join this course? So you're very well prepared. All right, so graduate outcomes. So this is the 3-year degree, and the students will be equipped with the knowledge, skills, attitude, and the values needed to become a competent registered nurse, unregistered teacher in early childhood in New Zealand. So they will have the opportunity to work in kindergartens, early childhood centers, or some like staircase to further studies. Okay, so application process. So first thing first, submit your application through Immigration Advisor New Zealand Limited. So we will assess your application. If your application is successful, we will issue a offer of place or conditional offer if the additional information we need from you. So after you receive the offer from us, please sign and return via Immigration Advisor New Zealand, right? So once you got everything signed, and then you can start looking to applying for your visa. Once it's approved in principle, you pay us, and then we will get you a receipt, and then you get your visa and come to us. All right, so this is some contact information. Yes, and now it's about finish of my session. I'll hand it back to Karishma. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you for the detailed information insight and explaining us about the very aspects of the learning. Every student aims in looking onto the industry practicum so that they look onto the career path ahead. Thank you once again. Thank you, audience. And just giving you a run through, if you can just allow me another 2 minutes, please. Please bear with me. All right. Taking you further, we would be presiding about the details related to the benefits of the master's programs. For this, I would request Mrs. Rai to address the attendees. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Karishma. So I would like to now give information on what are the options for family members. So what if somebody does a master's course? And leave aside masters, UCOL has some excellent bachelor's program which we've covered, be it a bachelor of nursing, be it a bachelor of teaching. So these are the courses which leads to registration, which has a pathway to residence, and also is in the green list. Partners have the option of applying for work visa even when the student is studying. So we would come to that later on, but initially now, what are the options or what are the benefits of masters? So if somebody selects a master's course, they do get 3-year post-study work visa. And the bachelor's program would give an option of 3-year post-study work visa as well, provided the bachelors are studied 3 years in New Zealand. Now, the partners of on when always have an option of accompanying the student visa holders. So if a partner is if one of the partner is studying a course, the other partner can either be on a visitor visa or be on a work visa. So the benefits here, if somebody does a master's program, the partner can come on a work visa for the same duration as the student is studying. If somebody is doing a course like a bachelor's of teaching or bachelor's of nursing, which we've covered, again, partners have the option of coming here on a work visa while the other student is studying. So definitely family can be together, one person studying and the other working as well. Dependent children, if the partner has a work visa, the dependent children have the option of coming on a dependent child student visa and the option of studying as a domestic fee student, that is studying for free here in New Zealand. Other benefits, not only for masters, but also for the bachelors that we've covered today, and also for the diploma in construction, that is again a program which is on the green list. So these courses have a pathway to residence. A master's will give you 5 points towards the 6 points required for residence. The teaching and the nursing program, if you work as a registered nurse, you can apply for straight to residence. If you work as a teacher, depending upon the sector you are working in, secondary, you have the option of applying straight to residence. ECE in primary, you can have two options, one under the skill category and the other under the work to residence tier 2 green list pathway. So all these programs have a very clear pathway post completion moving on to residence as well. Karishma, if you could move on to the next slide, please. And we will take questions thereafter. I've covered most of it previously. The options, the partners have the option of either coming on a visitor or a work visa, depending upon the course they are doing. And the children have the option of either coming as a dependent child student visa, study for free, or coming here on a dependent child visitor visa to be with the family, be with the parents, same duration as the student is studying. So a family as one big unit is what Immigration New Zealand looks at. Very glad that the partners will always have the option to be with the student no matter what course is selected. Over to you, Karishma.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I truly agree to the information given to you, and I think the audience have got a complete detail about the benefits attached to the master as well as the bachelor's as offered by UCOL and explained by you. Coming further, just to bring account about our details, you may reach out with the queries on a respective email ID. That's contact@nzimmigration.info. We are available to assist you in the best possible way. Besides this, we have given you the details about our address located in New Zealand of the office premises, as I've just made you witness in the prior slides. Please reach out to us and we'll be happy to assist you with all your queries. Next to this, I would just request the audience to reach up to the question and answers. We'll take a pool of questions now. If you may just allow me a minute, please. All right. We have the set of questions coming over. So, addressing is does the field of study or a level of qualification impact residency eligibility? Mrs. Rai, would you like to throw a light on this?
Yes, it does. So, what pathway you have towards the residence will really depend on what you've studied here in New Zealand. If you've studied a master's, then you get 5 points for this master's. That means you would be eligible for a residence visa under the skilled migrant category, provided you get 1 year of the skilled work experience that is needed. On the other hand, the masters can also, and especially this is a very specialized masters. If it gets you an opportunity to work in a position which is listed in the green list, you may have the option to apply for straight to residence, work to residence, which are alternate paths again moving towards the residence. Like I previously said, bachelors of teaching, bachelor of nursing, again, both have a pathway to residence. Teachers are currently in tier 2 green list, work to residence, that's the path you will have. And nurses are currently in tier 1 green list, straight to residence. So definitely what is your path moving on to residence will depend on what course have you selected.
Thank you, ma'am. There's a next question again. How does the post-study work visa contribute in gaining the residence? Tanua, would you like to give an update on that, please? Tanua? All right. Excuse us for that, please. Ma'am, would you please address the question if it's appropriate?
So the post-study work visa, whether you are eligible or what duration you get, again depends on what course you've studied. So a master's, if you study 30 weeks here in New Zealand, would qualify you for a 3-year post-study work visa. And bachelor's again depends on how many years you've studied here in New Zealand. If you study 3 years, you get 3-year post-study work visa. How it contributes to residence, I would say, it doesn't contribute to residence. You'll have to, see what you mean, and there's no guarantee here. It doesn't mean that you come on post-study work visa, it's contributing to residence. So no, definitely not. Uh, However, post-study work visa gives you an opportunity to work here in New Zealand. What is post-study work visa? This is an open work visa. You have open work rights. What that means is you can work for any employer anywhere in New Zealand. And when you get employed, depending upon what job have you got, you may qualify for residence under one of the categories, be it nurses, be it teachers. So post-study work visa gives you an opportunity to be in New Zealand and work for an employer, and your employment gives you the option to then apply for residence. Over to you, Karishma.
Just in addition to the previous question, ma'am, likewise on the post-study work visa, as you've mentioned, the category in regards to the work employabilities, does the part-time working rights also adds on to the eligibility in any way to the residency?
No, it doesn't. So the instructions require somebody to be full-time employed, even to claim points or to use it as an offer of employment. And there are so many other factors. So disclaimer, not giving any tailored advice here, but definitely full-time employment is one of the requirements. Not the only requirement. There are others as well, but one of the requirements for sure. Over to you, Karishma.
Thank you, ma'am. We have questions floating in regards primarily to the residency, ma'am. Is it possible to include family members in a residence application if you're going with the post-graduation? And the second part of the question, what are the requirements for them?
Yes, there is an option to include family provided the requirements are met. So this could be a partner if the partnership requirements are met, dependent children if the dependent children requirements are met. So definitely, yes, residence could be one application for the entire family. Yes, can include.
Okay. And how does the prior experience influence the residence application? If an individual is holding any experience in the background in the past, does this adds on to the residency?
There is no points for experience. So no, under the current setting, there are no points for previous experience. So no, cannot count those points. So no.
Thank you, ma'am. Uh, the another question that comes for you, ma'am, is what role does ENSCO and skill level play in determining residence visa eligibility?
Could you please repeat the question?
Sure, ma'am. What role does ENSCO and skill levels play in determining residence visa eligibility?
So the qualification, the occupation that you are getting the job for, whether it is meeting the requirement for you to be eligible to apply for residence or not, depends on a lot of things. So, like I said, it's not only the full-time employment or part-time employment. If it is in the role is in ANSCO 1, 2, 3, you would need to have the median wage rate along with a few other requirements, like are you working for an accredited employer? If yes, are you getting paid the median wage? Are you getting paid more, twice the median or 1.5 the median? So a lot of other things. So I feel really cannot give residents advice on this webinar. So I will request the attendees to please refrain from asking questions pertaining to residents, because I definitely cannot give a tailored advice here. We have this webinar focused on specific courses of the course. If you complete the course, you definitely have a pathway to residence. Residence is an outcome of studying here in New Zealand, but you're not coming here for residence if you're applying for student visa. Your prime motive has to be to study. So I really appreciate that, New Zealand is a good country. Everybody wants to eventually settle, but we'll really appreciate if the attendees could focus on the studying thing here, because unless you decide the correct course, unless you select the course which is in line with what you've studied, your visa will never be approved. Unless you complete the qualification successfully, there is no pathway to residence. So residence will only come if you complete the qualification, you get a job. So yes, please. So I would request the attendees to make sure that they are aware that residence advice cannot be given in a forum like this, please.
Thank you, ma'am. We have our next question for Mr. Jack. Primarily looking on how does UCOL incorporate hands-on learning and practical experience into its courses? Jack, would
Okay.
you please address it?
Okay, sure. So, so UCO is a polytechnic. So, so we are famous for our practical skills prepared for our future graduates. So, for example, if we are taking the Bachelor of Nursing in our college, so almost every single student they will be having at least one we call it clinical placement for each semester, so which enhance your practical skills and make you ready for your future work in the either hospital or retirement village. So you will be going through to do the clinical placement in different kind of health providers. So so we will put you into the right place to make sure you got enough hands-on skills before you graduate.
Okay. Thank you, Jack. Jack, just wanted to know from my end too,
Yeah.
when you were portraying the details about the industry placement and practicum learning, how do you split it in the duration of 160 hours in the 3 years of the study
Um,
period?
Yeah, so it will be very hard for me to explain those specific information here. This is because
Mhm.
it's most likely to be managed by our lecturers, by our faculty, and it will be based on the real-time market trends. So how are they going to split the time? But so we will be making sure we will be putting enough time to develop the practical skills for our students.
Thank you. I would like to raise another question to you, Jack. What
Yep.
is the registration pathway for the nurses from enrolled nursing, the Bachelor of Nursing program?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So you mean enrolled nursing or registered nursing?
I'm talking about the Bachelor of Nursing. What actually goes on a career pathway, as you've mentioned on the registration grounds?
Yeah. So this is the nursing pathway. It's a
Yeah.
6 months. The nursing pathway is 6 months course for some students. They would like to pursue the Bachelor of Nursing in the future, but they don't currently meet the academic entry requirement. That's most likely for quite many high school or secondary school graduates. So they maybe don't have enough academic background for the bachelor program, but they can come to have us try about our nursing pathway first. Then before they go into the nursing, so they will be taught enough in the concrete their foundation to make sure they got enough understanding about what are they going to learn when they are going to be in the self-nursing program.
Okay. Jack, the next question is in regards to the networking on the industrial grounds. What
Yeah.
opportunities for networking with industrial professionals does UCOL provide?
Okay, so this is very interesting questions. We will be always running those regional career expo and regional events for those potential employee to come to our UCO to talk to the to prospective students who is willing to join during the workforce in the future. So each of our campus, especially Wanganui and in the Palmer's North, we had 3 or 4 events already this year for gathering all the Manawatu region big employees coming to our campus to showcase what they do, and then they talk to students what they want from the graduates. Then the graduates can work on and they can equipped before they fully graduate from us. Yeah.
Just one more question on my mind, Jack.
Yeah.
Likewise, what you mentioned about the pre-requirements for the programs for the Bachelors of Teaching and Bachelors
Yeah.
of Nursing.
Yeah.
Sometimes a student holds a basic year 12 qualification along with the work experiences attached to it. So would you be considering on that grounds if it's a
Um,
mature?
Yes, yes, yes. If the students are over 20, if you're having I mean a reasonable higher secondary report with a decent work experience in that kind of specific field, so we can always assess your application based on case by case.
You.
Yeah.
To the next question, I just want to ask again, under what circumstances would the student be given recognition to the prior learning if they're seeking admission for the Bachelor of Applied Sciences? Would you please address this question?
So,
Thank you.
especially for the students from Nepal. So this is what I have to mention from here. So applied science, if they have done PCL level for 3 years back in Nepal, so most likely they will be given 2 years credits for our Bachelor of Applied Science laboratory service, laboratory science, and so the candidates can only study 1 more year to get a Bachelor of Applied Science from us. But for those policies, it might be changing from the second semester of 2025. So we are still working on it. But recently, so if the students is coming from Nepal with a PCL for 3 years, yeah, they will be qualified for 2 years recognition cross credit.
Thank you so much, Jack.
Yeah.
Jack, there's another question for you. Could you give us a detail in regards to the graduate diploma in accounting offered at UCOL?
Yeah, so graduate diploma in accounting is designed for someone who's already holds a accounting qualification, or you hold a diploma level, but work as an accountant or work in this kind of field for such a long time, right? So it's for someone who is already in this industry, or who has already got the qualification already. So if you're fresh to this industry, or you don't have any background, most likely we won't accept any applicant like that. But if you have the experience, just a lack of little bit of qualification, we can still assess your application case by case.
You.
Yeah.
And it's from Sri Lanka-based student, I guess I have a
Yeah.
profile. Can you let us know, once the application on experience basis considered, if a student is having a A-level qualification, just on a prior grounds, like I asked you?
Depends on how old is the applicant. So if you are under 20, so you must meet the academic entry requirement. If you are over 20, so we can assess your application by using your experience, your previous qualification. So make sure you got enough evidence for your works experience if you would like to assess, if you would like us to assess your application by using your work experience.
Thank you. Uh, in accordance to the offer letter process, Jack, I'd like to ask you a question. What is the usual turnaround time for the offer letter attainment if the documentation is well completed and submitted?
Okay, so for most of the courses, so we're trying to release the offer within 1 week time. So this is a normal turnaround time for us to release the offer. But for some of the courses like nursing, education, and healthcare, so it requires a bit more. So we would say, if you are trying to enroll with us, you should submit your application as early as possible, because there are some certain things we can't get in control. For example, the New Zealand police vetting report. So we will have to get those reports before we can fully release the offer. Officially, it's 15 or 10 to 15 working days, but sometimes it could be taking months. So yeah, it's really out of our control. So we would encourage our students, if you are trying to enroll in anything like nursing, teaching, or education, you should be in touch with us as early as possible.
Uh, there's another question. Which course can a student join as a pathway before Bachelor's of Nursing? Could you give some information insight on that, Jack?
So the
If
career,
somebody is not directly qualifying for the Bachelor
yeah,
of Nursing, is there any
yeah,
pathway course that the program student can join in and then take your
yes,
updation?
yes. So that's called an career study and the career preparation level 4.
Okay. And what's the exact duration and the cost for the study of the program?
That's 6 months.
6 months. All
Yeah.
right. We have another question for you, Jack. Does UCOL have any university tie-ups for the diploma candidates, like somebody's pursuing the diploma from UCOL and they intend to go with the lateral final year in the university sector? Do you have any tie-ups associated like with that?
So we see. So this is like a very interesting thing. So in New Zealand, education system, it doesn't matter UCO or university, they're all giving the qualification and the NZQA framework. So um, so you are just choosing different education provider. So our level 6 it should be recognized by any universities in New Zealand. However, um, different universities, they might require different things from the students. So, for example, if you had complete the level 6 construction from us, and if you're trying to pursue a higher level, level 7 or level 8 from a university, so they might ask you to do some extra papers, which they thought it will be helpful for your bachelor study. But from my perspective of view, whatever you've been received from UCOL, it should be 100% recognized by any universities in New Zealand.
Thank you to the panel. Thank you, Jack, for addressing all our answers. And thank you, Mrs. Rai, for addressing all our questions. And thank you for your time once again, I would say. With this, I would like to mark a closure to the webinar. I guess all the questions are well addressed and answered. For any further questions, likewise, I have just mentioned to the audience, please take down our details on our email ID, contact@nzimmigration.info. We are available to you. Please share your set of questions so that we may assist you at the earliest and in the best possible manner. Before I mark a closure to the webinar, I'll just request my panel members if they can address few words to the attendees. First, we'll start with Jack, and then we can take over with Mrs. Rai, please. Jack, if you would like to address our attendees something.
Thank you again for this opportunity, and really pleasure to share some information with you guys here. So if you got more information needs to know, please don't hesitate to contact the immigration advisor, and yeah, we will be helping you together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jack. Ma'am, over to you. If you could please address some words to audience.
Thank you so much, Karishma. Thank you, Jack. We really appreciate your taking time out and being here on a Friday evening. Really
No problem.
appreciate that. Thank you, attendees, for being here. We do understand that the interest comes because New Zealand is a good country. You want to study here and you want to know what are the options post completion of the study. So most of the courses that we've covered today are highly specialized courses, and if you complete these, definitely there are options, further options of not only post-study work visa, but also moving on to residence pathway. So do get in touch, and we'll be happy to answer all your queries that we could not cover during the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And to all the audience and attendees, I'll just address you once again. Likewise, what ma'am and Jack presented, the very focus has to be your education. As you grow with your education, the pathways become easy for you. So the intention should be more inclined to the education, please. Thank you once again to all the panel members and the attendees. It's a pleasure hosting the webinar, and I hope to look forward to meeting you soon again. Thank you once again.
Thank you, guys.